Okay, welcome, peoples, ladies and gentlemen, boys and girls. I saw. I want to throw this out there. I'm more of a Twitch streamer than I am a YouTuber, but I'm gonna react to this video. I follow this guy, Doug Bishop. I follow him on some other websites, and uh, I really like the guy. And then he did a kind of like an ad for this Bone Rush website, and I saw the ad. I watched the ad, and it kind of intrigued me. It's kind of very interesting, and I want to see what it's about. I only watched the ad. I haven't watched the video, so this is the first episode. But they're looking for dinosaur bones or something, or mammoth. It says mammoth bones in the thing, but they're apparently very valuable or something. I mean, Doug Bishop usually does like cold case, pulling cars and bodies out of the river, solving cold cases. But apparently he's dived into this. I don't know all the details, but we're gonna watch it and find out. But I pulled up the first episode, and we're gonna react to it and see what it's all about. Like I said, I only know from the trailer what's about to happen, so let's just hit play and see what happens.
They took 500,000 or so bones from Fairbanks to New York City. They ran out of storage and they dumped them in the East River.
And so they dumped how much in the East River?
Boxcar load, 50 tons.
Just threw it in the water.
Yes, sir.
Is it still there?
Could be.
You know how
500,000
crazy it would be if
dinosaur
there's
bones?
mammoth bones right there in the East River.
Let me tell you something about mammoth bones, mammoth tusks. They're extremely valuable. So if any of you guys want to go out and find some bones, I'll tell you exactly where the f they're at. The dump site at the time was off the East River Drive at about 65th Street.
So all it would take is a well-heeled expedition.
There's Doug. I
of
see
guys
Doug.
who know how
That's
to
Heavy
scuba.
D.
Tell you what, if somebody goes there and they gets a tusk, I'll have you on the podcast.
Because this is going to be a bone rush.
Oh, okay. I see where it's coming from right there. It's gonna be a road.
Go get it. Go get them
So
tusks.
it's like a treasure hunt for dinosaur
Team Bone
bones.
Rush has put together an expedition to go out to the East River. And I want to walk you through exactly what happened and what we've done up to this point and what we're going to be doing going forward. Let me talk to you about Bone Rush and how it started.
Okay.
John
Okay.
Reeves was on the Joe Rogan podcast,
Joe
I believe in
Rogan.
December 2022. And during that, he was discussing his bones that he found on his property over the last several years in Alaska, mainly woolly mammoths, steppe bisons, things of that nature. On the Joe Rogan podcast, he disclosed that the museum, the American Museum of Natural History,
They took 500,000 or so bones from Fairbanks to New York City. Left them in the crates, but in the 40s, they took about a whole boxcar load of these bones. They ran out of storage and they dumped them in the East River.
so John had
Okay, so during the 40s, that's like what, World War II? So apparently they just, I guess they weren't worth shit then, and they didn't have no room, and they're like, we're just gonna dump them in the river. But apparently now they're worth a lot of money. Holy shit. I might have to get me a boat. I might have to get me a boat, y'all.
documentation of this information. He disclosed this on Joe Rogan with the precise address.
Do you know what
Oh,
street they
shit.
pulled up to where they dumped them off?
Yes, sir.
Really?
Damn,
The
you
dump
know
site at the
right where
time
they
was
are.
off the East River Drive at about 65th Street.
For us, we came together and thought this is going to be interesting. This is going to be a bone rush. We think there's going to be a lot of activity going on down there because of this statement. But we thought that there would be an opportunity for us to get involved in other bone rush activity on a global scale.
Oh,
But
shit.
this is the kickstart to this. This is the nucleus. This is where it all started. So
so they're not just
fast
jumping on
forward
that.
3 months from that date,
They're gonna go all over.
we're out searching and looking for prehistoric bones in the East River. Now, in order to get there, we had to make some phone calls. We had to do some interesting work.
So if you find these bones, apparently they're worth a tremendous amount of money. Holy moly. I feel like this channel's gonna get interesting as it goes forward. It's only been out for, it says it first video was 3 months ago, so apparently they're just starting out. So I feel like this channel is gonna blow up or get a lot more interesting to certain demographics that are interested like me.
To get in touch with the right people, because there was a guy by the name of Don, Dirty Water Don they call him, who was in the East River, had been searching there already because he has experience with hard hat dives.
Dirty Water Don was
He also has a show on Discovery Channel called Sewer Divers. We reached out to him. We're thankful enough that he said, come out, I'll show you what it's all about, and we could film and be a part of it. And so we did. So when we get out there, there's a crew of maybe 10 of them, Don and his crew, and then there's a guy by the name of Chris Ogden who has his own rebreather system for how he does things. And then you have Don and his crew with their hard hat divers. They go down under the water. They're using communications through hardline, and they're using hot water to go through their suits to keep them warm when they're going up to 70 feet deep in that East River. So they took us out there, and then they said, we're gonna hit this place today, which was the place where they found a step bison jawbone before we got there.
Oh,
I think they found it a few weeks
bone.
before we got there. We went out there, looked at the location that they said that the jawbone was found at. Thought that was interesting. It wasn't off 65th Street. So that trip was sort of a quick, get to know everybody type trip. When we got back, we said, we need to bring more firepower to this team, to this effort. So we reached out to Heavy D Sparks and Diesel Dave and Doug Bishop.
I know them guys. And Doug Bishop,
and
that's
these guys have experience ranging from equipment to pulling up people to tractors, everything. So they decided, yes, we like this. We want to come out. So between Don and his crew, between Heavy D Sparks and his crew, and our Bone Rush team, we went out on the river just last month. And we spent.
Yo, if y'all are not subbed to Heavy D Sparks and Diesel Dave, you need to go over there. I'll link it in the description to their pages. They're crazy good. And Doug Bishop, I got with Doug Bishop. I got down with Doug Bishop when he was with another website. And then he removed himself from that website. He should have. And now he's out there on his own, bro. And I'm telling you, he's doing his thing. And then on his site is where he did a short to link me to this. And that's how we got here. So let's keep going and see what's happening.
Spent 2 days out there, okay? And I want to go through what happened, what we've done, what we've seen up to this point. So when we first got to New York, as this would be our second trip, we got an underwater drone, okay? And we were just going to go for the first day ourselves. Just Team Bone Rush was going to go and put an underwater drone in the East River off of 65th Street from the side, from like the walkway. We did that.
That ain't.
We realized how
like the submersible that went down to see the Titanic, but it might do the trick. But I don't know. That current looks pretty crazy though. Feels like it needs something with some more girth. You know what I'm saying?
Strong this current is and what's happening down there. We couldn't get much visibility because it was really dark, and then our drone started to drift away. Turned into pretty much a disaster. Since then, we have fired a new drone that has more capabilities for currents. So we learned current is strong. It's going to be difficult to get to the bottom of that river with technology, and let alone with people. So that same day, we actually went to the museum.
I feel like if that current's that strong in that river, I feel like them bones are gonna be after. I mean, we're talking 1940s. They gotta be swept away. You know what I'm saying? Like hella far away. That's just my thinking. But with that, I mean, that looked like some strong current, and then when they put that drone thing down there and everything, I feel like it's gonna be hard to find these things. 'Cause we're talking 40s. I mean, 80 years ago, 80 plus years ago, almost 90 maybe, depending on what actual he said in the 40s. He didn't say that like them things would be swept probably out to sea by now. I don't know. We'll see.
Natural history.
Hopefully they did find a jawbone.
We're right there in the middle of it. We're walking through the museum. We're seeing all sorts of prehistoric animals, dinosaurs, woolly mammoths, saber-toothed tigers, everything, just to kind of get the feel for what we're after. And it was impressive to see. I don't know if any of you guys have been to the museum lately, but for me, I was able to appreciate the scale of these creatures and really what it would be like to find a piece of that animal, a piece of that history. And not only that, what it would have been like to maybe experience being around some of these animals tens of thousands, if not millions of years ago. So that was an eye-opener for us. Next day we got up, went with the whole crew, Diesel Dave, Heavy D, Dirty Water Dawn, Team Bone Rush, got on the barge and drove up the Hudson River.
Man, look at that current. Look at that current moving right there. They're gonna struggle. I can see that. It's almost like the Alcatraz current, like in San Francisco. Look at that. That water is moving, dog.
We landed and parked at 65th Street.
So we'll get down to the bottom. Let me know you're on board. Get yourself comfortable. The current is starting to pick up. It's going to get worse. Now it's like going to pick up. You get down to the bottom, need some slack, give it to you. The more hose you put inside the water, the more the water's going to pull you. So it's going to be hard for you to move around. It's going to be dragging you. It gets shallow. It starts from like 50 feet, slopes real quick to 30 feet, and then levels out to 20. And then goes right to the water. Just be careful, like I said. Mammoth rig, mammoth bones. You were a mammoth bone.
Mammoth bones.
I'd be a 50. That's right.
Here's the thing. I feel like they've got to look at the 64th or 65th Street, whatever that guy said. I feel like they got to start there. But with the current moving like that, I just don't see in the 40s, 90 years ago, 80 years ago, I think they're swept out to sea. I mean, IMO, in my opinion. Like I really don't see them coming up with nothing right. But they have to start there. I get that they have to start there because that's where Homeboy said that they dumped them. But that was so long ago, and that current is ridiculous. And I feel like, okay, like, even if they are right there, I feel like so much dirt has been pushed on top of them in 80 years. It'd probably be like 3-4 feet of dirt on top of them, and there's just never, no way. No way.
Dirty Water Dawn went down first. He came up with a piece. It looked kind of like like what a museum would use to complete a dinosaur replica. or a woolly mammoth replica.
No, that's a
Looked like
perfect
a joint
right
to a
in
shoulder.
the middle of it. There's no way
We
that,
have not got confirmation
that,
on that
a body
yet,
would have a
if that's
perfect
what that
stripe
is,
down
but
it.
that's what it looked like. So then
Perfect
after that,
groove.
dawn came up. We looked at that piece, you know. Then it was time for the next guy to go down. 2 guys went down the next time. It would be Christopher Ogden. He was going to be the safety diver, I guess, and he was supposed to be attached to the boat, but he's a free diver, so he just kind of does his own thing. So I didn't know what was really going on there. And then the guy that was diving down with the hard hat was Cole Cannon. They call him the Law Father. And as they were doing this, right before they got in, the current picked up significantly. I could just see the water moving below us. It looked like we were cruising down the boat. We were just anchored, and the water's just flushing through. And then I see Cole Cannon get ready to jump in the water, and I noticed that he doesn't have any weights on. He's probably, I'd say, 180 pounds, fit guy. Probably need a little more weight in order to get to the bottom of that river, which could be up to 70 feet in a current. And then you're supposed to have this other guy, Chris Ogden, and there's a safety diver. We don't know where Chris Ogden is at this point.
What?
Cole jumps in. Immediately, he just flies underneath the boat.
Oh my God.
Can't even get close to the bottom because of the current. So me, I'm on the boat, and I'm feeling a little uncomfortable what's going on because I can see this is getting out of control.
Look at that current.
Next thing you know, Cole is on the side of the boat now, flopping around, all right, with water just shooting over him. He's trying to climb his way back into the boat, which is exhausting when you're fighting current. He is strapped on with the rope and with wiring through his harness, but there's a possibility that can break off. And if it does, he has a heavy helmet. He has a little bit of weights on his ankles and no life vest, nothing. So he would just float down behind the boat and we might never see him again. That was on my mind.
Heavy D's pulling him in. Look, he's like,
at the same time,
we ain't losing no man today.
Well, Chris went down about 15, 20 minutes ago. He's supposed to come up and check in at 10 minutes, and he hasn't. And it's been about 20, 25 minutes ago. So we're getting nervous. Hopefully he just got lost and looking for things and lost track of time.
They finally get Cole into the boat, which is nice. That's good. Okay, Cole's safe. I'm happy there. But now I'm worried about Chris Ogden. I'm worried because I care about these guys and I don't want to see anything bad happen on this trip.
Smiling.
Right, we start talking about him. We look, pops up, and he's waving a knife as he's floating away. So that means he lost his rope line. He keeps floating down the river as heavy barge and heavy boats are coming up that lane, which could easily run him over. So thankfully they had another boat on our big boat. They had detached from our boat, cruised around, got Chris Ogden out of the water, brought him back onto the main boat. It starts to rain. We got guys that are safe now. And then it's Heavy D and Diesel Dave's opportunity to dive. And I think by then we were talking about going to another location, but we'd already been on this boat for probably 5-6 hours at this point. I think people were tired. I went to Heavy D and Diesel Dave. I said, guys, what do you guys think about just stopping today? Because I was worried. We were going to get into trouble. The energy didn't feel right at that point. I said, yeah, that'd be cool. That's fine. Let's do that. Let's settle it in for the day. And then we're going to dive a lot the next day. So that's how the day ended.
Boys are built different. I'm surprised they said it because to be continued. Oh, that's the end of the video. Holy shit. Alright, so there's going to be a part 2. There we go. Episode 2. So there's a part 2. Tell me what y'all think. I think this is really interesting. Oh, there's Heavy D right there. I mean, I would have never even paid attention to this bone rush thing if it wasn't for Doug Bishop. You know, I just happened to be, his thing popped up and his ad popped up and I watched it and he's like, we're going to find way more stuff and I hope. And then I clicked on it. I seen there was 2 episodes and so it's just starting out, but I feel like this is we're gonna go down a rabbit hole with this, y'all. I feel like this could be interesting. Appreciate you watching. I'm going to make another video on episode 2. And I will see you all then. Till then, be good.